Watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General YAHANNA. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top when we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my heart can gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them trash, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talk the shit. Y'all know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
Let's go. We live? We live? Let's clap it up, man. Clap it up, man. Clap it up, man. Let's get it, man. Shalom, 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 man. We at the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, man. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, man. You know what I mean? And we come out here to save the world, man. You know what I mean? Save the nation, save our people, man. You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, man, when the righteous rule, man, the earth gonna rejoice, man. So we the superheroes out here, man, in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. Let's give a big round of applause for this weekend, man. Been crazy this weekend, man. Been crazy this weekend, man. Saving lives, man. Taking care of the people, man, who the world cast out, who the world shuns, you know, who the world and doesn't give a damn about. You know what I mean? I can say damn. Most High Christ. Who the world doesn't give a flying flip about. You know what I mean? You know, we went out there and we did what needed to be done according to the Lord, man. You know what I mean? What's so righteous about it is you don't see this type of, like the song we was just playing, man. I don't know if y'all heard it, but you don't see this type of brotherhood nowhere else in the world, man. Right. You know what I mean? You don't see it nowhere else in the world. You don't see it in your Christian churches. You don't see it in your Muslim mosques. You don't see it in your sororities or whatever. You don't see it out there in your little biker gangs or in your unions. You don't see it anywhere but in the I.S.U.P.K, man. And we get this brotherhood from the scriptures, man, straight out of the scriptures, straight out of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And the Lord used Commander General YAHANNA to trickle it down to us. And so we trickling it off to you guys, man. You know what I mean? We had to save a nation, man. It was so beautiful, man. So beautiful. Wanted Bonka y'all, man, to see them smiles on the faces, man. Some people traveled over here some families. It was one sister, she had passed by and she was crying and she was talking to her brother beside me and she was saying how her and her two sons, one son and one daughter, they had one bag of clothes apiece. Nothing. Didn't have nothing. Let alone somewhere to wash the clothes. You get what I'm saying? Like them people, man, they absolutely appreciated us this weekend. They absolutely saw what everything that the Lord had to give, man. They saw men of the Lord doing the Lord's work this weekend, man. So I want to thank the Lord, man, Commander Jenny YAHANNA, man, for instilling that kind of authority and leadership in each and every one of us so we can fall through. And we made it happen, man. We saved lives this weekend. We made children smile this weekend, man. Thank the Lord for it, man. If I could you give me Matthew 18 and 20, man. We came together, man, and we was able to show a lot of people who had probably never even heard of us, man, show them what the real leaders of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans look like. You know what I mean? What the real leaders of this new world that the Lord is forming looks like. You know what I mean? What the real saviors of this world look like, man. And they seen it, man. And they seen it. And they seen it, man. Go ahead, Adawan.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20.
Right.
For where two or three.
Where two or three. Go ahead.
For where two or three are gathered together in my name.
So where two or three are gathered together in the Lord's name, man. Me and my brothers together this weekend, man. We gathered together in the Lord's name, man. We came together and we took care of the Lord's business this weekend, man. We were about our Father's business this weekend. We came together in his name to clothe those Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans who, like I said, the world shunned, who the world could give a damn about if they're cold or not, if they got clothes on their back, if their kids eat or not. We came together to serve the people this weekend. Go ahead.
There am I in the midst of them.
The Lord was there with us, man. The Lord is with the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, man.
Right.
And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful to see that this weekend, man. And it was really what the world needed to see, man, because we're looked at as a hate group. We're looked at as monsters. We're looked at as what do you call them? What else they call us? What don't they call us, man? Just anything, man. Any abomination that you can think of to call a person wicked. You know what I mean? We're looked at it as all these things, man. But in hindsight, that's behind closed doors. But if you really come out and you see the work that we put in as officers and priests and prophets of the Lord, you'll really see everything that we preach and teach is for the betterment of our people, man. That's right. Like when we talk about separation in the Bibles, that's for the betterment of our people. And what's so beautiful about this weekend is that those Blacks and Hispanics, they got to see what real separation looks like. We're separated from those people that spit on you as you were crossing the border, who couldn't give a damn about you if your kids have clothes on your transport over here. We separate from them. They saw what a separate group of people could do for them, man. And Lord willing, they put that separation spirit in them, man, to join with us, man. Where two or three gather in the Lord's name, man, the Lord was there. The Lord was with the I.S.U.P.K this weekend, man.
That's right.
The Lord was with us, man. I thank the Lord for this, man. I thank the Lord for this truth, man. Because without this truth, man, we'll be a mindless, lost people, man. You know what I mean? I see it every day. I see people crying out for help from the oppressor. People crying out for help from anywhere that they can get it, man. But they look at us and they look at us like, oh, that group of people can't help us. But we did, man. We did. And we showed and proved this weekend, man. And it was a statement this weekend that we made. And it was made in New York. New York felt us this weekend. They felt us. If they didn't before, they feel us now, man. The water your house, man. You know what I mean? Read that again. 18 and 20. Shalak, Matthew 18 and 20. If they didn't then, they do now, man. We came together, man, and we did what we had to do, man, according to the Lord, man. That's our job in here, man. Our job is not just to fiddle around, man, and just tell you what you want to hear. You know what I mean? Our job is not just to open up this book and read it, right? Our job is not, it's not just to tell you, don't do this and don't do that. We actually have to put in work in this school, man. Put in work in this kingdom, man, to raise up our people, man, and show them how to do right, man. To show them what real love is according to the Bible, man, and how to move and how to succeed all these wicked things that surround us, man. Go ahead, brother, when you got that. Read it again.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20.
Yeah.
For where two or three of the gatherings together in my name,
right,
there I am I in the midst of them.
The water of Yahweh, man. You can drop that, get Zephaniah 2:1. You know what I mean? We gathered together, man, this weekend, man, in the Lord's name, man. And the Lord was with us, man. You can see it in those brothers and sisters' eyes when they would come past the table, and they would come up to the table with a saddened face, and they would leave either crying or smiling. And the tears were tears of joy, man. They finally got some kind of relief, man. Some kind of sympathy for the fact that they don't have anything over here. But they have something. They got the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, man. And they got a chance to see that this weekend, man. And I thank the Lord for it, man. That perseverance is everything, man. Our people can struggle. They damn near close to death over there. Then they come over here and it's the same thing. And then they see a sigh of relief. Like I said, man, the Lord allowed us to make a real statement this weekend in New York, man. And I thank the Lord for it, man. Go ahead, brother. When you get that, go ahead.
This is the book of Zephaniah,
right?
Chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourself together.
And so this is what we teach all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. Like we don't teach you to go look from help from any outside source on anybody that's not your family. How I was brought up, man, I was taught to take care of home first, man. So if I know if I'm in a jam and I need some money, I need anything, right? I need some food. I'm gonna go ask my brother for something first. I'm gonna go to my auntie. I'm gonna keep it home. I'm gonna go ask home what's closest to me first, right? I'm gonna ask those around me. Go ahead.
Ye gather together, O nation, not desire.
I'm gonna go ask the people that's struggling with me, right? I'm not struggling by myself. I'm gonna ask my brother who damn near got a pap to piss him. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put whatever we got together and we're gonna make it happen, right? Like so, I know last week, man, we didn't have nothing. We really ain't had nothing to eat in the fridge. I think I had the noodles, and one of my brothers had some sauce. You know what we did? We came together and we made spaghetti. You get what I'm saying? We gathered together, man. We came together in a time where we needed each other most, man. We came together when we didn't have no way out, when we didn't have anything else, but we made something shake for the family, right? So this scripture says what?
Gather yourself together.
Right.
Ye gather together, right. O nation not desired.
Gather together, O nation not desired, man. To get this weekend past, man, the nation's not desired gathered together, man. Right. We gathered together and we show real brotherhood and real sisterhood, man, under the Lord, man. And the Lord was with us, man, every step of the way, man. You know what I mean? Like this kind of guidance, man, this kind of leadership, man, you're not gonna find it anywhere else but in I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, right? We're sent here to save lives, man. We're put here to save you from killing yourself, from unaliving yourself, from doing harm to yourself and to your family, right? Following that righteous leadership, man, to keep you in line and keep you on a path to progression, man. We're all about progression in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Right. Ain't no regression in here, man. You can come in as you is, but you're not allowed to stay like that. You know what I'm saying? You can come in as a dope fiend, a crackhead. You can come in like that. You're not allowed to stay like that. And that's real love according to the scriptures. That's what Christ did, man. Yeah, you come as you are, but you're not allowed to stay in here like that. We're going to give you the tools that you need to shake them demons off, man, and to be right, and to really stand up straight, and to become a strong man if you're a weak one, to learn how to shut your mouth if you're a loud mouth woman, right? To learn how to close your legs if you're a whore, to learn how to put that cigarette and them drugs down if you're a drug addict. We're going to teach you how to be right as unto the Lord in here, man, up under Commander General YAHANNA, man, and that's what the I.S.U.P.K has to offer this world, man, to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're the cure. We're the real heroes, like I said earlier, man. Like I said, I got to give another round of applause for this weekend, man. Like I said, man, like just to see, yeah, you put in work all the time. You know what I mean? We teach classes. We're at camps every Saturday, but to really see like your work really truly paying off, like in that kind of magnitude, man, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. I damn near wanted to cry standing on Shamar. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, God damn, man, the water your house for this. Little kids running around, dapping me up. I don't even know you, little boy. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. Like what kind of effect, man, just a piece of clothes can do. Just a little sweater, just a t-shirt can do to somebody who has nothing, man. And in this nation, man, this kingdom that we living in today, man, it makes us so selfish, man. So what do you call it? Just like ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Like we take so much stuff for granted in this kingdom, man. We do, man. We take so much stuff for granted, man. Like we look at it like we're struggling. Like if I say, like I mentioned the story about the food, I have noodles. I had noodles, but there's somebody out there without the noodles and the sauce. There's somebody out there without water. There's somebody out there that's freezing tonight. It's about to get below freezing tonight. Yeah. And I want to complain about something, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why this truth is so important, man. It's so important, man, because we're doing it one step at a time, one person at a time, man. Right. One cigarette at a time, just one at a time, man. Slow rolling. You know what I'm saying? But eventually we're coming together, like the scripture said, and we're gonna be right, man. And we're gonna be in rulership. And when we're in rulership, man, the whole earth is gonna rejoice. Matter of fact, give me Hebrews 10:24, man. You know what I mean? Like when we really come together and start serving the Lord, and when the nations start to come together as one under the Lord, we're gonna see how well and how we really truly are healing the earth. You get what I'm saying? We saw, like I said, a little taste of it this weekend, what the power of the Lord could do. But imagine that like on a vast multitude. You know what I mean? Like there ain't gonna be no more poverty in the earth. You know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be no more sickness. There ain't gonna be no more addictions. You know what I mean? We're gonna all be serving under one power. Go ahead, read that, brother.
This is the book of Hebrews,
right.
chapter 10, verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke and to love and to go into good works.
What does provoke mean?
Don't underestimate the individual.
No. Provoke.
It's a provoke definition. It says stimulate or give rise a reaction or emotion, typically a strong or unwelcome one, in someone.
That's beautiful right there. Now read that scripture again.
Chapter 24. Verse 24. Come. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love. To
provoke, to push unto love, right? To push unto love. Go ahead.
And to a good works.
And to do and unto good works. We as a nation, man, we got to push each other to do right, man. You know what I mean? If I see you lacking in one area of life, I see you struggling with a drug addiction, I'm not gonna be an asset to that. I'm gonna tell you, look, brother, this how you be right. Like put that down, bro. You know what I mean? You're smoking 10 cigarettes a day, let's move it to 7. You know what I mean? You're smoking 10 packs, let's move it to 7 packs. You know what I'm saying? It's all about progression. I'm not gonna allow you to continue in your sin, right? So I'm gonna provoke you into love and unto good works and unto putting down that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, right. and unto not laying with them whores, unto not going to the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Unto not doing these things that are not good works unto the Lord, right? Go ahead.
Verse 25, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together. Not forsaking this brotherhood that we had this weekend. Not forsaking us coming together as one, as a nation, right? Not forsaking the camaraderie that the I.S.U.P.K displayed this weekend, right? Not forsaking that, man. Not forsaking Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians coming together and we suffering together. Not forsaking that, right? We're going to cherish in that. Go ahead.
As the matter of some is, but
as the matter of some is, as the matter of your Christian churches, man, your Muslim mosques, man, they forsake such things. They forsake coming together in real life. Because there's so many gangs in the Muslim mosques, man. So many gang bangers and all that. They don't really love each other in there, man. They don't really love each other in the Christian church, man. They got sanctions of Christianity. What is it? A Pentecostal, something holiness. It's all manners of them. They don't really love each other, man. Them people, man, they forsake the assembly of coming together, man. They forsake that assembly. Go ahead, continue.
But extortion one another.
Exhorting one another. Okay. What does it mean to exhort? Exhort.
It says to exhort, strongly encourage or urge someone to do something.
Right. So we're gonna push each other to do right. We're gonna exhort one another, man. We're gonna push each other to be the best versions of ourselves as we can be, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and let my brother do the bare minimum when I know that he can be this kind of officer. I'm not gonna sit up there and let this brother be this type of trooper when I know that he can be this type of trooper. I'm not gonna allow just the bare minimum. I'm gonna exhort him and push him to be the best version of himself that he can be. You know, why would I do that? Because we have enough of the regulars, right? We have enough of the regular Christian pastors, right? We have enough civilians, but we don't have enough leaders. We don't have enough strong black men in the black homes. We don't have enough women that know how to hush their mouth when their man is speaking. We don't have enough of that. We don't have enough women that know how to close their legs and cover their behinds. We got too much of the regular. Let's get some irregular, right? Let's start exhorting these brothers up in a way that appeases the Lord, man. Let's teach these brothers good works, man. You know what I mean? Let's provoke them unto love and unto good works. So saith the Lord, right? Like I said, they're regular, man. You leave that for Christianity, man. You leave that for them, man. But in here, you're not allowed to be regular. We're going to provoke you unto good work. We're going to provoke you unto love. We're going to exhort you in here. You get what I'm saying, brother? We're going to put you on high up in here, man. You know what I mean? You're going to get in here, you put them boots down, you're going to do some work, man. You know why you want to better yourself? Because you give a damn about your people. If you didn't give a damn about your people, you would think you are okay how you are. But because you really love your people and you consider them, you're going to be the best version of yourself so that you can help the next man that's been in your boat. These brothers up here, they weren't always like this, man. They came from a place of sorrow and struggle. You know what I mean? Especially that brother back there. He came from a place, a low place. But now look at him now, strong officer in the truth, man. The Lord put that man on high, man. These brothers in here, when he got in here, they exhorted this brother, man. They put him on high, man. They provoked this brother to love and to good works. You know what I'm saying? That's why these brothers in the position at the end, man. And to YAHANNA for those positions, man. You know what I'm saying? We exhort each other in here. You feel me? Go ahead.
But exhorting one another in so much the more,
right,
as ye see the day approaching.
What is the day approaching? That's sky cracking, brother.
That's right.
That's sky cracking. That's the day approaching, brother. You know what I'm saying? So we see what's at hand, man. We see what's coming right around the corner, man. We see what's coming on the horizon. We see what's going on over there in Israel. You know what I'm saying? That day is approaching, right? So this is the time to do what? We're gonna read it, start from the top. This is the time, man. This is the time to do what, brother? 10:24.
Verse 24.
Right.
And let us consider one another.
This is the time to consider one another, to take into consideration your brother and your sister left to the left and right of you. This is the time to take into consideration their ailments, their needs, right? Which is what we did this weekend, giving out clothes to them that didn't have anything. Right. It was freezing that night. I seen kid, like I said, one sister, she said she had one bag of clothes per child and per herself. She had on goddamn shorts, man. It was freezing that night, man. Now imagine if we didn't come out there. Imagine if we didn't give a damn about our people, right? Imagine if we was the Christian church. The Christian church won't know where to be found, man. Christian church, your Muslim mosque leader won't know where to be found. But the I.S.U.P.K kid was out there. But imagine if we didn't give a damn. Those people, some of them kids probably wouldn't have made it through that night, man. Some of them women, they probably wouldn't have made it through that night. You get what I'm saying? But because we give a damn and we consider our people, we was out there, man, doing the Lord's work, man. Doing what we had to do according to the Lord, exalting our people. Go ahead, continue.
To provoke and to love and to good works.
We was out there provoking people unto love, right? We was pushing them. We was pushing love on them, man. They saw the love we had for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans this weekend. They felt every damn bit of it. You know why? Because they never seen it before in their life. They didn't see it over there where they was living at. That's why they ran here. They ran here looking for some kind of help, some kind of hope, and they didn't get a damn thing until the I.S.U.P.K showed up, man. The YAHANNA, man. Thank Commander General YAHANNA for that, man. You know what I'm saying? We was there 10 toes down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Feeding our people, taking care of our own. Continue.
Verse 25.
Right.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
We didn't forsake the assembly of ourselves together this weekend, man. We embraced it, bro. You get what I'm saying? We came together as one. Why? Because they were struggling, so guess who else was struggling? We were struggling. If I see a brother out there on drugs, guess what? He's not the only one on drugs. I'm on drugs. We got to get off of it. We got to do this. If you out there hungry, guess who else hungry? I'm hungry. Let's be hungry together. You know what I'm saying? We don't forsake the assembly of coming together, brother. We embrace that. I can't say shit. I can say shit. We embrace that stuff, right? We embrace that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? And we embrace it because we care about one another, man. We love each other in here, man. This ain't no place of hating here, man. You leave that to your regular Christian church. Let them hate each other. Let your mosque and your drug dealers and your gang bangs, let them hate each other. But in here, according to the Lord, you're not allowed to hate your brother in here, man. You're not allowed to forsake me. You're not allowed to forsake the assembly in here. You can't do that in here. You can't do that. And in all actuality, as a nation, we can't do that if we want to progress in this kingdom. We can't do that. We've been forsaking the assembly for over 400 years. You see where that's gotten us? Abortion clinics on every corner, the Christian churches on every corner, homeless people in every house on every corner. You know what I'm saying? It's no progression in that. It's no progression in forsaking your brother that's next to you, struggling the same way you're struggling. It's no progression in forsaking your sons and your daughters because they didn't fall victim to sin, and you think that their sin is heavier than yours. You every day you in the house, you smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, but your daughter a stripper and you calling her every kind of whore in the book. Everybody, you forsaking them. You in the same boat. And when blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, when we begin to realize that we're all in this boat together, then we might begin to come together. And that's the whole job of the I.S.U.P.K, man, is to make you see the weakness of your ways, man. To make you see, like, look, brother, you're in that boat now, but you don't got to stay there. There's a way out. Right? There's a way that you can serve the Lord. You can come from your whoredom and not be a whore no more. Right. You can sell drugs, but you don't got to do that. That's not the only way to make money, right? You can be a liar, but now you can gain some strength and gain some manhood back, and you can stop lying. You can be a whore on your wife, but we can tell you how to treat women right in here, man. We can tell you how to do it the right way. You get what I'm saying? If there's a will, brother, there's a way. Continue.
As the matter of some is but exhorting one another, and in so much the more. As the
Salaki, read that as a manner.
In so much the more as ye see the day approaches.
Salaki, started as the manner.
Okay. As the manner of some is.
As the manner of some is. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, the UPK, man, we don't forsake the assembly of ourselves. The manner of some is to forsake the assembly of some. You get what I'm saying? That it's some people's nature just to forsake you. It's some people's nature, they'll look at you like if you're a homeless man on the corner, it's some people's nature to just look at you and be like, ugh. That's some people's nature. Some people see a woman that's suffering from drug addiction, and they'll look at her like, oh, man. They'll see her teeth all falling out. Teeth get to falling out, nails all dirty, skin get to getting them blisters in there. They'll look at her and just be like, ew, disgusting. But in here, we don't see that. We say, oh, she's sick. Let's do something about it, right? Let's put our best foot forward and see what we can do to help her, to prevent it from the next. That's somebody's daughter, man. That's somebody's mother. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in her life, something happened to her, and she fell victim to that demon. And that demon has taken hold of her. That's what we see when we see somebody like that. So we say, you know what we need to do? We need to go harder in here. We need to go harder with this, with these scriptures. We need to go harder in the UPK because she's somebody who's worth saving to us. But for some people, the manner of some, oh, she's nothing. She's nothing. She's the gunk on the bottom of your shoe. She's in the way. She should. Why is she here? Why is she here? She's stinking up Fayetteville. She's making the land disgusting. Oh God. I seen a homeless man using the bathroom on the side of a building in New York. I looked at it like, dang, man, I wish the brother had somewhere to go. But they had lines wrapped around some buildings just to use the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? But some people would look at that and be like, oh man, go somewhere else. Go home. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? That's why, man, I think the Lord for this I.S.U.P.K. and the world needs to thank the Lord for the I.S.U.P.K. for actually giving a damn about people, about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And in doing so, like I said, man, when the wicked rule of the earth is mourning. Right now, everybody's crying, we're mourning. Like I said, the people, they run over here for some kind of sanction, some kind of sanctuary, but it's nothing here for them but the I.S.U.P.K. They're running, looking for help, but they can't find it nowhere but here. You know what I'm saying? And that's because the wicked are ruling. But when the UPK rule, the heroes, aka we're superheroes, but when we're ruling, the whole earth is going to be happy. They're going to be in glad spirit, including the oppressor, including all those nations that oppressed us. We're going to save the world. You mark my words. We're going to save the world. Continue.
But exhorting one another.
Exhorting one another. We got to exhort one another in here, man. Put each other on high. What does exhorting mean again?
Exhort means to strongly encourage or urge someone to do something.
We're going to exhort one another in here, man. When I'm low, what you gonna do for me, brother?
Exhorting.
You're gonna exhort me. I know that's right. Get a brother a hand, man. You're gonna exhort me. When I'm down, you're gonna do what? Exhort. You're gonna pick me up. That's my brother right there. He gonna pick his brother up. Why? Because the Lord said so. Because this is a law for being an Israelite. You got to exhort your brother, man. You put your brother on high, man. You don't kick him while he's down, which is what the Christian church and the Muslim mosque and all these synagogues teach you to do, right? We don't step on you because you have less than us, which is what all these gangs and all this other mess in the world teaches you to do. We exhort our brothers, man. We put you on high. We show you that you can be better and you can become a strong man. Because if you're out there in the world, I got news for you. You're a weak man. You're weak. In some way, shape, or form, you're a weak man. You're a weak man. You either got a wife and you're probably deleting your messages before you go night-night. Yeah, scary. You either got you got a wife and you're messing with a man on the side. Nasty. You get what I'm saying? You're weak in some way, shape, or form. You got a wife and you're letting your woman run over you. She wears the pants in the house. You're weak in some way, shape, or form, man. But in here, if we see that, we see a brother doing that. Oh, we're going to give you some strength, brother. Oh, yeah, you keep hanging around these brothers. You ain't going to be no yes man for long. Right. Yeah, you ain't going to be no delete. Oh, man, I'm about to go to sleep. Let me delete these. You're not going to be a coward for long. You know what I'm saying? You're going to gain some strength about you in here. You know why? Why are you going to gain some strength, brother? Because we're going to do what to you? We're going to exhort you in here, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're going to exhort you, man. Keep going.
One another. And so much the more as ye see the day approaching. You
know why we're going to exhort you, brother? Because like I said, we see that day approaching to where it ain't going to be no more time for exhorting. It's going to be some time for action. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time, man. We in a grace period right now. Right. So we grabbing as many souls as we can, man. We're fishing. We're grabbing you. We're grabbing your family. We're grabbing these mothers out here on drugs. We're grabbing these sisters out here. We see them in food lines struggling to eat. We're grabbing these brothers out here selling drugs. We're grabbing the gangbangers. We're grabbing them all, the whores and whoremongers. We're grabbing them all. Why? Because we see the day approaching that it's going to be too late. Right. So because we love our people and we were taught to love our people under Commander General YAHANNA, we're out here exhorting our people and we're grabbing them. We're not forsaking the assembly. We're embracing the assembly. You get what I'm saying, brother? Most High in Christ, man. Jot down and give me Proverbs 3:31. You know what I mean? We exhort each other in here, man. We put each other on high, man. We give value to the Black, Hispanics, and Native American man and woman and child in here, man. You know what I mean? We give you a place of your own in here, man. The I.S.U.P.K is a place of refuge and a safe place and a great home for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. This is the place where you want to be, man. Like dead ass. I can say dead ass. For real, like this is the place where you want to come and seek refuge. This is the place where you're gonna find hope here, man. You know what I mean? Out there in the world, it ain't nothing for you, man. It's death around every corner. It's death around every corner. You know what I mean? Like you go out here, just the fact of you being a Black man, you already putting your life on the line walking out the door. Right. Now, do that and get in a car. Now that right there, that just added another tick going against me because you're a Black man driving. Now have a little bit of masculinity about you where you're not really, you know what I mean, just a yes man. Let a cop pull you over and emasculate you. You get what I'm saying? It's a fear for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men especially, but living in this country here, man. But that place of refuge that you have is in here. In here, you don't got to fear none of that. Right. You don't have to fear none of that. You know what I'm saying? You come in here, you get your manhood. We teach you how to talk to that cop that pulls you over. Right. We teach you how to talk to that loudmouth woman that can't shut up, that can't be quiet, that don't know how to close her legs. That brother that keep trying to get you to sell drugs or keep trying to get you to go with him on a mission We'll teach you how to move around that, man, because we exhort our people, man, and we put them on high. Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Right.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
In this nation, man, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man, we envy the oppressor, man. We've been taught to envy the oppressor. Do all. What does it mean to envy?
Blacks, Native American, and Spanish.
That's the nations of Israel. But what does it mean to envy something?
You like them, but you don't like the way how they like to say that better than yours, something like that.
Okay, kind of, sort of. Go ahead, other one.
This is envy, painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another joined with a desire to possess the same advantage.
Right.
Malice, or an object of envious notice or feeling.
Right. So to envy, to want what they have, to admire what they have and want it. Like we, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians in this nation, we envy the oppressor, man. We want what they have. We see that lifestyle that they're living. We see them cars they drive. We see them women they got. We want that. We want that. We see the drug dealers making all that money. We want what they have. We see the rappers, all the chains, jewels, women, all. We want it all. We envying the thing that's oppressing us, man. We envying the Christian pastor. Ooh, that's one of the big ones, the main ones that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American men envy. You see all them black men in the Christian church? They want to praise Jesus. You see women, they talking about they want a man that fears the Lord. You know why? You know why they men in them churches? Because they want women, and they envy that oppressor, that pastor. They envying him. They want to be just like him. So when they get home at night, they be spitting little scriptures. Ooh, he know them scripts, girl. He wear that cross around his neck. Ooh, we not knowing that's that one thing that they're envying, that one thing that they're putting on high, which is that Christian pastor. That's the oppressor, and we envying that is why we're in part of the reason why we're in the condition we're in today. You get what I'm saying? We should envy not the oppressor. Go ahead.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. We shouldn't do Christmases. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right? We shouldn't lay with any of his women. You get what I'm saying? We shouldn't be doing all these manners of evil. We shouldn't sell their drugs. Right? We shouldn't get high off of their drugs. Right? We shouldn't go to a strip club. Right, that thing that's a great now women. Oh, that's somebody's daughter in that strip club. I don't know if you knew that. That's somebody's mother in that strip club. You got one, don't you? You got mothers, right? You got sisters, right, aunties. Those women in there belong to somebody's family. Those naked women in there belong to someone's family, and you're throwing money on her like she's a damn dog. Right. You know what I mean? Like she's a piece of meat. That's disgusting. That says a lot about you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man. But like I said, if you come in here, guess what you'll be taught to do? You'll be taught to keep your change in your pocket. You'll be taught to not even go in them doors. And guess what that'll do? It'll trickle down. It's a trickle down effect. Guess what those doors are gonna do? They're gonna be stapled shut. You know why? Because your money isn't going in there no more. Now your money is going into benefiting those women in there. Now your money is going into clothing those women. Put some clothes on their back. Putting some clothes on somebody's aunties, somebody's mother's back, right? You get what I'm saying? And with that, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class over to Preaching Officer Bankiar, man.
You're a trip. Damn right. Oh man. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Athaba Shem Yahushua to all the sisters and priests and officers of 1,000. Bon Kayal coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We are the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. I just want to give it up to Officer Batazar again. Good to see you back. Still here, never left, you know. Yeah, and what you were speaking about earlier, you know, with respect to the mission for this weekend, that was a powerful thing. It was a powerful thing to see Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians gathering themselves together. Matter of fact, give me Zephaniah 2:1. You know, for us to come together in the spirit of wanting to help one another. And they, like you said, they like to demean us. and slander our good, holy, righteous name by calling us a hate group. I didn't see any hatred that day, because when I looked in that line, it wasn't just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. There was heathens sprinkled in that line. They had Africans in that line. They had the Chinese men and women in that line. And those are the ones that were acting as if they had no common sense. They couldn't do all things in decency and order, unlike the spirit that was on the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that were in that line. So the water to the Most High for allowing us the opportunity to be able to go up there and provide, a real resource to our people. That's what we have to do. We have to recognize the value of social capital. If I got it and you, my brother and my sister, you got it. We got to start pooling our resources. America teaches individualism, and that's promoted by the Christian church. Christianity teaches you to go and get yours and don't worry about anybody else. Those fake Israelites, they say what? That's the Lord dealing with them. That's the Lord's punishment. If they're without food, clothing, or shelter. But what does that say about you being their brother? You being devoid of understanding their condition. Like you haven't been without food, clothing, or shelter. You wanted someone to come to your aid, even though the Lord was dealing with you. So the I.S.U.P.K is the only place on planet Earth where the true spirit of brotherhood is taught under Commanding General YAHANNA, man. Give me that scripture, Baba Kusha.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
Gather yourself together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desire.
That's right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's who needs to be gathering themselves together, and not in the spirit of how we gather ourselves together in that Christian church on Sunday to go and watch a damn concert. Captain I.S.U.P.K, he did something that was powerful in class during his lecture. He showed, I call any class a lecture, it's literally a dissertation. Any brother in this school will have the ability to stand and defend a thesis. Every officer in the I.S.U.P.K could stand and defend a thesis with respect to serving the Lord, with respect to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, with respect to women and brotherhood and the Most High loving us above all the other nations. All right. But when it comes down to us gathering ourselves together, man, we can't do it the way we used to. We can't gather ourselves together in the spirit of celebrating Thanksgiving, or everybody's preparing themselves to practice one of the most satanic rituals under the sun in the celebration of Christmas or Saturnalia. Okay. If you Google the origin of the Christmas celebration, you will see that it has absolutely nothing at all to do with the God of this Bible. Okay. Our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, nor Jacob, none of them celebrated Christmas, man. We learned to celebrate Christmas under the oppressor. We learned to celebrate Christmas, under the so-called white man. All right. And we were never supposed to learn these things. We were never supposed to learn the customs of the heathens. We were never supposed to take on or assimilate nor conform to the traditions of the people that the Lord sent against us because of our disobedience. We're supposed to gather ourselves together, okay, in the spirit of righteousness, in the spirit of obedience, in the spirit of wanting to serve the Lord, man, in the spirit of what? Living in truth, not fallacy. We gather ourselves together to celebrate the 4th of July. Do you know where your ancestors were on the 4th of July in 1776, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man? Where were your ancestors? What were they doing? They weren't looking at no damn fireworks. Anyhow, read that scripture one more time.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
Gather yourself together. Ye gather together, O nation, not desire.
Yeah, Zephaniah knew that in order for us to survive and to thrive anywhere, we would need each other. We would need one another. We would need to depend on each other. The so-called oppressor knows that. On his money, he says what? United we stand, divided we fall. Well, Salakia. Not on his money, but that's what he teaches in the military. The Christian church does not promote that. The Christian church promotes division. That's why they have so many different denominations globally, thousands, 42,000 is what I read. Different separate denominations, all professing to believe in the same Messiah, okay? In I.S.U.P.K, we're here to disprove that lie. You can only be, we have to gather ourselves together in the spirit of this one body, man, which is the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. We're one mind, one body, one spirit. Nobody in here is doing anything separate. You know, you can't be an individualite in here. We all acknowledge the Sabbath as being what? Sunset Friday evening to sunset Saturday evening. We all in agreement with respect to pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster being unlawful. Nobody in here is eating a goddamn tuna melt, all right? Nobody celebrates their birthday in here. Nobody celebrates Mother's Day or Father's Day in this school, all right? We value one another in this school. There's no back talking, no backbiting. There's no gossiping that's done in this school. We love each other equally, all right? Now, granted, you might have your preference for a brother or a sister, but that should not limit the love that you show to another brother or sister, man. We are family, and we can't be divided as a family. That's been our problem up until this point, all right? Said we are a nation that's not desired, right? What I saw all over the place in America right now, America is dealing with an immigrant crisis in all of its major cities, especially the sanctuary cities. The sanctuary city is a place where you're supposed to be able to seek shelter as an immigrant. You're supposed to be able to seek refuge in these so-called supposed sanctuary cities. It should be a place of rest, a place of respite from the oppression that you're fleeing from, okay? I was listening to NPR this afternoon, actually, and they were talking about how in Aurora, Colorado, they're having an immigrant crisis, and they're talking about how chaotic it is because the immigrants that have been displaced, they don't have access to things that every human needs. These are families that are being displaced, complete families. Imagine if you, your rib, and your children were taken from your home for whatever reason, tyrannical government, the gang violence, whatever, economic, your economy being broken down because of a foreign government having interest in your land's natural resources. So they create some sort of economic instability with respect to the value of your money. So now you got to go somewhere else. Would you be able to do that with the money that you have in your bank account? Would you be able to go somewhere else and start all over again? Most of these people are leaving. They're leaving with the clothes that are on their back, man. Half of them don't even have decent shoes on their feet. And right now, what season are we in? You can't just sleep outside and believe you're going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to wake up in a lot of these cities. We're in the winter. You ever heard of overexposure? Hypothermia is a real thing. So like, I got an echo on that. Can you turn the gain down just a little bit? It's the knob. Yeah, the water. Anyhow, if you can, give me the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7. This is the history class. Monday night, we try to go into some biblical history. This is a continuation. This is the third installment of the Native Indians are Israelites, all right? We don't focus on, because of America, because of Christianity, because of the selfishness that is promoted, the spirit of selfishness that's promoted in just the culture of America, we don't consider, anyone else outside of us, outside of our ethnic group. And what I have to tell you is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we're one blood-related family, all right? All of our uncles are brothers, all right? All of our ancestors or progenitors descend from Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons. Those are our great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers, man, all right? Unlike when you look at the other nations, you think about the East Indian, the red dot, not the feather, or you think about the Arabs, or you think about, the Europeans. Those are separate bloodlines. Those are separate families or separate nations. That's not the nation that God chose. Even though he created them, He didn't choose them to represent him on this earth. All right. Those nations weren't given the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the reason why we call them heathens, because they are godless nations. The Lord didn't choose them, but he chose you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. He chose us to represent him on this earth via his culture, all right? In the form of the law, statutes, and commandments. So if you can't read that scripture.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 7.
Right.
Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. There's value in learning about your history. You know how I know it's valuable to learn your history or your true history? What's being attacked right now in America as far as the school curriculum? What are they trying to take out of the school curriculum? Go ahead, brother.
Slavery, like critical race theory.
Mm-hmm. They teach that slavery is what? The Great Migration. Like these people had a choice. Like they had a choice to come to the land of the North. Like they had a choice to, like we chose to. I keep reading this book about the transatlantic slave trade, primarily about the conditions on a slave ship. And when I tell you it is hair-raising, it's hair-raising to hear these authors in tremendous, eloquent detail describe the conditions of these slave ships. And it's like, there is no way. They have all these different regulatory corporations set up, you know, the alphabet, the FDA, the USDA, and all that or whatever. Where were they during the transatlantic slave trade? What was the regulation on, you know, the conditions of this human cattle that was being transported from nation to nation, from continent to continent, across the waterways, across the Middle Passage, across the Atlantic Ocean, throughout the Caribbean? Where were they? And America has such a problem with human trafficking now. That's the original sin. So when you go into Walmart, you go by the bathroom, you just look at that wall and you see all them pretty babies. Most of them are our children. Most of those pretty babies that are gone missing. When I was coming up, they used to be on the carton of milk. You know about that. You know about that.
Have you seen me?
Oh, man. That's a sad thing. Imagine if that was your child. We're going to get into these curses today in the book of Deuteronomy, you know, and we're going to remember the days of old, okay? Continue with that scripture.
Consider the years of many generations.
Right. We have to consider what our ancestors went through. We have to consider what Big Mama and them went through, why they were the word that they were, why they raised us the way that they raised us, why they beat us to no end, because they were not that far removed from the plantation. They beat us like Master beat their mothers and fathers. Okay, that's the way that they treated us. And we don't take that into consideration today. Maybe you do if you're in the I.S.U.P.K. You know, consider the years of many generations, right? So we have to think about what our ancestors went through and what got them to got us to where we are as a nation of people. All right. What else we got? Continue with that verse.
Ask thy father, and he will shew thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
That's right. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. When you look at the condition of our household, if you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, your household, you're growing up without a father. And here we promote, you know, black families. We promote not just it being an idea, but a practice of having a black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man in every black, Hispanic, or Native Indian household. All right. It is very, very important that we have strong, righteous, masculine men domineering over these households with the spirit of the Lord, man. Because a serious man is going to let you know the history of his people. He's going to teach his children what happened to him, what happened to his uncles, what happened to his aunties, what happened to his grandparents, and those that came before them. All right? He's going to show the children, he's going to show the successive generations what transpired over time. He's going to point out who did what to our family. All right. And we can't forget that. You go to Christian church, they want to teach strong delusion. They want to teach this doctrine of forgiveness to people that they don't want your damn forgiveness. These people are hell-bent on destroying you, eradicating you and your lineage off the face of the earth, just on the strength of them knowing that God chose you. All right. We can no longer continue to fall for the okie doke. We can't continue to fall for it, man. All right. Thy elders and they will tell thee. You sit down and you have a conversation with, somebody that's in their late 80s, the 90s. You get the luxury of being able to speak with an elder that's 100 years old. And they'll let you know exactly who the devil is. And it's not some red man that lives underground with a trident and horns on his head and a foot that speaks with a forked tongue. All right, you'll know exactly who the devil is. All right, who our chief oppressor is, who our enemy is, according to what the Bible says. All right. So drop that. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Yeah, man, Reggie, if you got that. Last week we finished off where 28 and 28 and 21. I think we're a little further than that. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And I believe we were approaching the 30th verse. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is it right here. 28 and 30. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 30.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth our wife, and another man shall lie with her.
What does it mean to betroth? Go ahead, officer. Yeah. Or to become engaged, right? This woman is spoken for. Can you imagine the time you put into courting a woman? You already have an understanding with her father, because in here we go to the father. We're old-fashioned in here, right? We go to the father, because we remember the days of old as our ancestors did it, and we come into a contract with the father with respect to the daughter's hand in marriage, right? And it's a formal agreement to marry. And this is what you got to understand: Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. Sex is marriage. All right. Sex is marriage. All right. You don't wait to have sex until you get married. You coming together, your bodies coming together is the marriage. All right. What's more valuable than your body? That ring means nothing. That marriage license, it means absolutely nothing. 2 men can get married. 2 women can get married with the same marriage certificate, the same marriage license. Means nothing. That wedding, that outward showing of the ceremony, that means absolutely nothing inside of the Lord, but that actual you coming together, where 2 are once twain, you coming together, you become one flesh, according to what the Bible says. That's what we teach the sex is marriage. All right. So just imagine that. Brothers in here that have ribs, your rib is your possession. And I'm responsible for my possessions. I learned to secure my gear at an early age. I am very, I won't say jealous, but protective over what's mine. And I know every brother in this room is. Okay? But just imagine you got some heathen taking indecent liberties with your possession, the thing that was promised to you, the woman that was promised to you. How is that going to make you feel, man? These curses are real, and these curses affected every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. The Native Indians can understand what the so-called Negroes were going through on the plantation when master would creep into the slave quarters. That's what we know about the name Sally Hemings, because of Thomas Jefferson's crimes against, our people, our ancestors, man. All right. Keep reading that verse.
And another man shall lay with her.
Right.
Thou shalt build a house and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Who built the White House? Who built the White House?
Blacks and Native,
Right.
and Latinos.
Yeah, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, right? You're right, young man Reggie. You know, has a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian ever really lived in the White House? Now I ain't talking about the staff. You in there as a slave, you know what I'm saying? They got separate quarters for you. And don't hit me with that Obama being a black man. Obama was a filthy African. He was a Hamite. He did absolutely nothing for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the people that put him in office. There was no legislation passed for them at all, okay? But the so-called Asians can get a Stop Asian Hate Crime bill passed, and they have zero to no representation. They don't come out and vote in droves. So what's going on here? There seems to be some sort of conspiracy against the black man, the Hispanic man, the Native Indian man. Why is it that our oppression, our suffering is so similar? It's because of these curses, man. Keep reading.
Thou shalt plant a vineyard and should not gather the grapes thereof.
Come on, man. You think about those migrant workers, you know, that travel from rural community to rural community based off of, you know, the seasons of the crops that are grown in America. The oranges that you like to enjoy, the apples, all that fresh produce, the salads that we like to eat, you know, you got to give it up for the Mexicans, the Isupkites, some of the Native Indians. Give it up to them, because without them, without those migrant workers, oh man, I know I'm not going into no field. God forbid. Okay, I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine having to go pick watermelon from can to can, or raspberries or strawberries. I don't want to be outside like that. But our Native Indian brothers and sisters, they go out there and they do that work, and they make it look easy. I seen a brother he was taking a basket, and the basket was full of like green peppers or something, and he was throwing it over his shoulder, but he put a spin on the basket. So the basket would empty out the green peppers, and it would bounce off the side of the truck and land, and the next worker behind him would pick the basket up. Basket was empty. And he's doing this behind his back, picking up the basket, throwing it over his shoulder, emptying it into the truck. The basket is empty now. I was like, come on now, that's a trick shot. This brother's making work look too easy. I tried, I'm gonna mess up. They firing me on that day because all the green peppers I done damaged trying to do what I saw this Native Indian brother do. All right. Yeah, we plan all this stuff and we don't have an opportunity to enjoy any of it. Our ancestors that worked in those cotton fields, that worked in those sugarcane plantations and those rice paddies, man, they didn't get to enjoy that stuff. What we had to enjoy, we had to grow up under the cover of darkness. Learned that when I 41 years old. I learned that at 40, going to see Stagville and Durham and reading about what our ancestors went through on the plantation, because they had meager rations. Those slave masters weren't generous. You wasn't getting 3 hots in a cot with the slave master. You might get that now in prison, but you wasn't getting that on the plantation. That's why you see brothers eating squirrel and possum and rabbit. We ate what we had access to, all right? Yeah, you eating rodents. You might as well eat a rat. Anyhow, drop down and go to the next verse, brother. And Officer Coyle, can you pull up that image of the buffalo?
Want me to continue?
Yeah, go to verse 31.
Verse 31. Thin ox should be slain before
thine. That's an old English word. It's like a possessive pronoun, right? It shows possession, like thine. What it belongs to you. You are the thee or thou, and that's thine phone that you're holding in your hand, thine microphone that you got in your right hand, right? You're talking about thine what? Thine what?
Thine eyes.
Thine ox, right?
Thine ox should be slain before thine eyes.
There you go. That's a tongue twister there. You say that 7 times. Say that 7 times fast as you can.
Thine.
Yeah, no, the whole sentence. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes. You know what I mean? What is an ox?
Cow.
A cow, like a buffalo, right? We talking about the native Indians being Israelites. If you got that picture? We look and we see this image here of this devil standing on the skull of a plains buffalo, okay? Which is like another form of an ox, all right? And the buffalo, they talk about how the buffalo look like clouds, you know, across the Midwest. You look and you watch National Geographic, and you watch the migrations of a wildebeest or the zebras or whatnot, and you see they look like a swarm of birds in the air, but on the land, right? They talk about how the plains was covered, not just peppered, but covered with these buffalo. And the so-called oppressor is such a devil. He is such a devil. He recognized that was one of the main resources for food and clothing for the native Indian. So what did he do? He eradicated the buffalo to the point now where they're an endangered species. You go to Yellowstone, you see those devils get out their car and try to get close to the buffalo, and then they get gored. That's what the oppressor did, just because he hated the so-called native Indians so much. He want to kill your food. Whatever you're surviving on, they're going to take that from you so that you can be destroyed, all right? That's real history. That's real American history. I would say that's critical race theory, because that explains what happened to the native Indians. That explains why they couldn't thrive on the land, all right? Keep reading that verse. You can drop that picture.
Should be slain before thine eyes, and thou should not eat thereof. Thy ass should be violently taken away from before thy face.
Right.
And should not be restored to thee. Thy sheep should be given into thy enemies, and thou should not known to rescue them.
That's right. All these things, all these livestock that, once roamed freely on our lands were taken from us by the hand of the oppressor, by our enemies, is what the Bible says. Okay. Why did that happen? Anybody enlighten me. Why do you think that happened to us? Why did the Lord allow these things to happen to us? Go ahead, brother.
We broke the commandments.
Most High Christ. We didn't hearken diligently, right? We didn't desire to serve the Lord. We didn't desire to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. You want to get back in the good graces of the Father, which is in heaven, you better learn to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. They're not teaching that at True Vine Ministries. They for damn sure ain't teaching that at Lewis Chapel or at Mount Pisgah Missionary Baptist Church. You got to come in here, 205 West Russell Street, and get it out the mud, man. Sit at the feet of the prophets. We don't wear periwinkle in this mug, man. You see these gold teeth and these beards and these boots, and you get intimidated because you're so used to looking at a pastor in soft attire, Steve Harvey suits, all all the pastels and mauve and all of that crap, man. And we out here giving it to you straight out of the Bible. Your pastor ain't never went into Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Never. He's taught you John 3:16, but from a Christian perspective, from the perspective of white supremacy. All right. Keep reading.
Verse 32. Thy son and thy daughter should be given unto another.
Salakia. Shout out to Sister Kalaya Pa for this beautiful what would you call this, Ottawa? It's just a glass. Yeah, a glass. It's a beautiful cup, man. we add this to our collection in the school. The sister, she took heed to what we were saying about this feast of dedication and us beautifying the school, okay? So she took it upon herself and she brought new glasses for the school, man. That's a beautiful, give that sister a hand, man. She didn't have to do that, but she did, all right, because she's considerate, she being raised right in that household. So, oh, Lord. All right, read that scripture again, Baba Kushah.
Verse 32. Thy son and thy daughter should be given into another people.
That's right.
And thy eyes should look and fail with longer for them all the day long. And there should be no might in thy hand.
Good night. I couldn't imagine, man. I got 5 that I know of, I couldn't imagine Tootie being taken from me, or Reagan, or Paige, or Ramsey, or even my son Carter being taken from me by some damn enemy. And I wonder where the hell what are they doing? I think that now when they're at school, when they go to the daycare, what is their day like? What are they, what's transpiring in their life? But just imagine what our ancestors went through when they were physically, their families, you talk about, separating a child from his mother. That's happening in the 21st century. That happened at the border with the so-called Israelites, man. That happened. Those internment camps, they separated, they took our sons and our daughters from their fathers and their mothers, man. All right? And they still haven't returned half of those kids, man. To the tune of, I think it's over 1,000 children still missing. Over 1,000. And they'll probably never be heard from again, unfortunately, which is a very sad and disgusting thing. But I think about those children. Imagine what their parents are thinking. And we don't have any might in our hand to bring those children back. We didn't back then, and we don't today. We don't have any power in our hand to do that outside of us being obedient. That takes total, complete dependence upon the Most High Power. For that would be a miracle, all right? We can't do it. What resources do we have to do that? Where are our private investigators that are going to, do the sleuthing that it would take, the amount of money and time it would take to track these children down, man? All the red tape you would have to cut through, all the bureaucratic mumbo jumbo you would have to go through in order to find these children. Anyhow, go down to 33.
Verse 33. The fruits of thy land and all thy labors should a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
These are strangers, man. These are the real aliens. You think of an alien, man. These people were not indigenous to the land of the north. They came here via the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. They are the true immigrants, all right? They're the true migrants. They're the ones that came here by choice. They chose to leave their homelands to come here and oppress you. And everything that we created, man, all the inventions, all the inventions, all of the recipes, all of, what is it? Uncle Nearest, AKA, what's the name of that whiskey brothers like to drink? The Jack Daniels, that whole recipe was started by a so-called slave. You think about society and how it functions today and just the amenities that make living on this earth, living in this world, enjoyable. There was a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian at the root of that invention or the creation of those things. You couldn't even drive. Imagine driving on the interstates, on the highways and byways, and without any traffic lights. Imagine that. You look like some third world country. You see the videos on TikTok, and I'm surprised how them cars can even. I know they deal with vehicular manslaughter on another level in these countries. But you can thank a black man for the creation of the stoplight. You just think about your life and how, you know, how we enjoy certain niceties. It had nothing to do with an oppressor, man. Had everything to do with us. All right. The things that we create, the things that the Lord allowed us to produce, being eaten up at the hands of these strangers. And it says, and thou what?
And thou should be only oppressed and crushed away.
What does that word oppressed mean? What does that word oppressed mean? What is oppressed? Yeah, what does it mean to be oppressed?
It says to be oppressed is to be exploited or systematically harmed by others.
Good night. To be exploited or systematically harmed by others. And it just so happens that those others, it's always the same suspects, always the usual suspects. You know who's oppressing us. You know who lynched us. You know who put on those white hoods and burned crosses in your yard or in our yards, who put bombs in our churches. You know who did these things, who kept us out of the workforce. You know, we're the last hired and the first fired is what they say. You know, it's the reason why labor unions were created, to protect what? The workers, but really to keep us out oftentimes. All right. So thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. Yeah, we get exploited, and the things that happen to us in this life, man, it seems like we'll never get any justice for all this evil. You know, we have to understand the root cause for our plight or the conditions by which we are suffering, you know, is because of our disobedience. It's because we want to celebrate Christmas. It's because we want to smoke weed. It's because we want to pop whores, you know. It's because we want to do all those things that are contrary to thus saith the Lord. Do yourself a favor and get out of your way, all right? Do yourself a favor, get you a flyer, like, subscribe, share these classes, get in class. Come in here, shut your damn mouth, cover your head if you're a woman, put on all black if you're a brother, man, and just learn. We don't bite. I don't know what's so terrifying. I think you're just afraid of change. That's what I think. I think you're afraid of what your life could be. We self-sabotage on every level. We know how to mess up a good thing, all right? Come in here and learn how to serve the Lord, man. All right, where we at?
We're on verse 34. We just got finished with
Yeah,
verse
go to
33.
read 34.
So that thou should be mad for the sight of thy eyes which thou shouldn't see.
Yeah, man, you see these heathens, you know, coming in and sleeping with our wives and tearing our families apart, selling our children up and down the river, up and down the Cape Fear River. You know, Fayetteville was supposed to be the capital of North Carolina before Raleigh because of its centralized location, because of its positioning with regard to the Cape Fear River. You do know that, right? You could take that Cape Fear River and follow that straight out all the way down through Wilmington to the Atlantic Ocean. They got a series of locks and dams that the U.S. military, the Army, Engineer Corps, right? They're responsible for maintaining these locks and dams. So they have positioned themselves to determine what goes up and down the river. Well, at one point in time, your mother was getting sold up that river, down the Cape Fear. Our sons and our daughters were being, you know, shipped up and down the Cape Fear River, man. You think about the cities and towns that are along, because that's how civilization works. You find a water source, a fresh water source, and then from there, you got to be logistically, you know, close to a fresh water source. And that's where you start to build camps turn into forts turn into towns turn into cities. And before you know it, you got a metropolis. But it's all based off of the access to the water, right? Anyhow, read that again.
Verse 34. so that thou should be mad for the sight of these eyes. Hold up.
Yeah, thine eyes, your eyes, right?
Thy eyes which thou shouldn't see.
Yeah, you see all these curses, man. All these things that the Lord allowed to happen, that the oppressor took, indecent liberty with. The Lord allowed a certain thing, and then the oppressor took it another 100 yards. He didn't have to be as cruel and evil, with handling us as he has been, as he continues to be. All right. You get mad, you get frustrated when you see these things. I get pissed off when I see a devil driving in a Cadillac on Forgiatos, and I know he didn't have to do a damn thing, but just turn a certain age to gain access to a trust, to a Roth IRA that was put in his name when he was a baby, because his ancestors oppressed my ancestors. So lock you out of one. Go ahead. That's it. He looking at his watch. Good night, man. That's a heavy point. But that brings me to another. That's a nice little segue there. You work your slavery, but don't give that slavery your spirit, okay? Because, like, I believe today, they were supposed to be standing in solidarity with the Palestinians. I already took off. I took off for another cause. I took off for the real immigrants, for the real immigrant issue, the crisis that was transpiring in New York. All right. We had another mission that we were on, but I just found out that, Shaun King and a lot of those so-called activists, were promoting like a blackout today. And they told people not to show up for work because they want to force a ceasefire. They want what's happening over in Palestine to stop. Well, in here, we don't give a damn about what's happening over there. We don't care. Salakia. I'm not insensitive, okay? Nobody wants to see no kind of baby get blown up. I don't give a damn what color they are. You don't want to see so-called innocent people, being unalived. But what's happening to the Palestinians, what's happening to the so-called Israelis, has been happening to us, and it's been happening at the hands of the people that are suffering right now. It just wasn't no cameras recording it. We didn't have Instagram on the plantation, and you seeing, our babies getting drug out of the long houses and the teepees that were set fire to on the first Thanksgiving. Where were the damn cameras then? I wish they could have recorded that. But whatever. What do I know? Keep reading.
Verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with sore brooch that cannot be healed, from the sole of thy foot into the top of thy head.
Good night, man. I don't know about the native Indians, but I know that's a Judite issue. I don't know not one Negro that don't have knee problems. He tore ACL or MCL or something. I don't know not one brother, because of the forced labor. Even with respect to, you think about athletics, they roll the ball out in front of our sons and our daughters, just like they do an animal. Just roll it out, and we go crazy for it. I'm not too crazy about my son picking up a damn basketball and focusing all his energy on putting this ball through a hoop. I don't care. I don't care too much about it, to be honest with you. And I spent a lot of time in the gym growing up, and kept me from being a teenage father, or being strung out on drugs, or becoming a gang member. It did have its benefits, but my son has a strong man in the house, So I'm going to see that, and I'm like, nah, I'm going to discourage that. All right? Because I don't want you to be smitten in the knees. All right, keep reading.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shouldst set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy father have known, and there should thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
So, like you think about, the Native Indian, they had their chiefs in the same spirit of Moses with the elders of Israel. Okay, you go to Deuteronomy 27:1, it talks about that and how they give their people specific instructions on how to conduct themselves in their daily lives. The I.S.U.P.K, we teach daily life living skills in the same spirit of Moses and the elders of Israel. We're commanding the people to keep all the commandments, which I command thee this day. That's what the Bible says. That's what we tell you. All right. But your pastor ain't telling you that. What your pastor telling you to do? He's telling you it's evil and wicked to keep God's laws, statutes, commandments. He's telling you that God don't want you to keep his laws. Go ahead, brother. Hey, brother, get the plate over there. Get the plate over there in that corner, right? That's their whole focus is on getting that money, getting that bag up. But they're not so much focused on, the mission to help the immigrants that need winter coats. I'm gonna tell you, man, I know that the Most High Power dwells within this school. I know his spirit is in this school. Because we were standing out there on Shamar, literally, and the boxes that we brought up, right? They were handing clothes out. They've been handing clothes out since like 8 o'clock. I tell you, I'm sitting here and I'm looking and I see the boxes that we brought up being opened. And I know personally, I had a handful of coats, tags on it at all. They got put on the table. And I'm like, look at this. I could have been all the way up on the other, in the rank all the way somewhere else. But the Lord wanted me to see the value in the sacrifices that I make and the sacrifices that we make. And it's bigger than me. It's bigger than my household. And it made every bit of sense for me to be able to witness that. And they were snatching it. I had this, it was like a silk blue coat. And it was an Asian woman. She picked it up and she threw it down on the table. I was like, damn, she ain't look at the price tag on that coat. It was outdated, but it is what it is, man. It was very it was beneficial for me to see that, and I'll do it again. We'll do it again. People don't even understand what it takes to do this work. All the constant sacrificing to come here and sit down and teach these classes, to be away from our families, to get on that road. Wow, how long was that trip to New York? 10, 12 hours with the stops included, and then brothers dozing off. And shout out to Officer Baltazar, that brother's a trooper, man. He wasn't dozing off at all, Hey, I ain't had to worry too much when you got behind the wheel. Him and Officer Ratazar, they know what they do. Salaki and Ratazar, they know what they doing. Qudam too. Qudam held it down. You know what I'm saying? I know that Officer Kowal, he get behind the wheel. You gotta talk to him. hey, you all right, brother? Salaki. Yeah, man. All right, let's continue with the scripture. We talked about the king, right? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. These are kings that are set over us that our fathers never knew. All right. These are strangers. These are enemies. These kings are from other nations. They're not going to be representing us at all, and they're not looking out for our own best interest. That's why you see all this legislation get passed about everybody else except for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child. All right. And then it also talks about us serving other gods of wood and stone. When you look at the traditional American holidays, every last one of them, every single last one of them is rooted in paganism, is rooted in the worship of another god, all right? False gods, little g, and idols. And these idols, we were very familiar with them. You think about, the New Year with Janus. He's a two-headed god. Sometimes three-headed. He's reflecting on the past, focusing on the present, looking forward into the future. And then what do we do next? We celebrate Valentine's Day or Lupercalia, right? Lupercalia to some people. And they have what? What are the idols of Valentine's Day? Cupid. Like what the hell is that? A naked baby flying around? Come on, man. That's not what a cherub looks like, according to what the Bible says. When we go from there, we got Groundhog Day, another idol. You got St. Patrick's Day. They talk about leprechauns, and they misuse the rainbow. At the end of the rainbow is a pot of gold. You know, they don't even represent what the rainbow actually represents according to what the Bible says. But that's the devil, that's the oppressor, taking creative liberty with the word of the Most High, you know, creating this mythology, all this folklore, you know. What's next? You got the Easter bunny with Easter. You're sending your kids on Easter egg hunts, which is a very satanic thing. We put tremendous zeal into doing these things, okay? And where do we learn these things? Outside of the schools, they're promoted in the churches. The church has a damn, a trunk or treat, a fall festival. They got the congregants in the church decorating their vehicles, the trunk of their vehicles. Out of all things, I don't want my kids to get acclimated to, you know, taking nothing from nobody, especially candy. But you're taking candy from a stranger's trunk. That stranger can pick you up and throw you in that trunk. Slam the trunk shut, and you'll never be heard from again. And you will be a foolish parent to allow your kids to participate in a trunk or treat. It's almost like muscle memory. You got some random dude in the parking lot like, hey, come here, I got candy. Before you know it, you gone. You on that wall at Walmart. Anyhow, those gods of wood and stone, we're talking about Christianity, right? That Christian cross. You know, the so-called oppressor took the lands from the native Indian in the spirit of manifest destiny. He said it was divinely inspired by the Most High for him to be able to rule a land from sea, the Atlantic Ocean, to shining sea, the Pacific Ocean. And he felt like it was his God-given right to steal the lands from the native Indians, push the native Indians off the land, and bring blacks and Hispanics onto the land to cultivate the land, to build up the treasure cities. And then we think about the gods of stone. You think of in Islam, the Kaaba stone, man. You think of that. That is a religion of heathens for real, for real. You think they're banging their head up against a carpet, man, on the floor. You go make your pilgrimage, your Hajj to Mecca to circle the Kaaba stone, which is like space junk, essentially. You know, and you kissing this to kiss this stone. You're worshiping this stone. You're worshiping rocks. And then you wonder why, you know, our people have an affinity for wanting to charge crystals together, just because this rock looks, you know, unique. We take this rock, and this rock should be acknowledged because of its structure, because of the way it looks, the mineral deposits in this rock. You know, it's a sad thing. We're putting energy into things that we shouldn't. We're worshiping gods of wood and stone that our fathers never did. Our fathers never did those things. Our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't do that. They were set apart. All right. All right. So let's see. Go to verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become as in astonishment, a proverb and byword among all nations, whither the Lord should lead thee.
When we talk about an astonishment, man, you know, it's astonishing when other nations, you know, get to be in our presence. Like they are literally enamored at just our presence. Right. Go ahead, officer. Go ahead.
Matthew 5:16. It says, let your light so shine bright before men,
right,
that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Good night.
And that's what we did this weekend, man.
You damn sure get that brother a hand. You're right. We did that. I'm looking at CNN trying to see, okay, what did the Israelites laid siege to, you know, the east side of Manhattan, the east side of Harlem, you know? I didn't see it. Did you see anything? Oh yeah. Oh, if we would have had to defend our position. Yeah, I didn't see not one news camera out there, which is the reason why we film every damn thing, because if we don't film it, it didn't happen. Then the news stations are like, no, that's just them Israelites promoting that truth. Make sure that we don't cover that at all. The people don't need to see that, because that will give the people hope. And before you know it, that will upend our society as we know it. Okay? I like living in Beverly Hills and not being able to see none of these jigaboos breathing all my air. You want some Negro swimming in your pool? No. So they're not going to film it. They're not going to cover it, right? But we cover it, and we think about astonishment. You think of a feeling of great surprise and wonder, the state of amazement. The other nations, when they see us, and whatever we do, they're just amazed at how our hair grows out of our head. You think about how often, a sister will walk into the slave and, if Sister Summer did her hair, oh, you already know it's glorious. She gonna be like, damn, how did she do that? What do you call them? Lemonade braids. How did she get the hair to lay down? And it's so symmetrical. How did she get the braids so perfect? All the parts aren't crooked, Baltazar one. What kind of product is she using? They are amazed at us, amazed at what we do, amazed at our culture, even at our lowest, man. You give a brother money and you got Deion Sanders, right? And his son's out there just in all flashiness. Just a certain level of swag that we have, that we add to every situation, to every setting, and it's an astonishment to the people, to the other people, all right? But it also says that we're a proverb and a byword. And when we come to proverbs and bywords, right, how are we known by the other nations? What do they call us? What are some of those proverbs or bywords that they use to describe us? If you can, brother, I got a tab pulled up. It's called the it's the real racial slur database. Yeah. Tell me, what do they call so-called Negroes? This ain't about the Negroes tonight, but I mean, it's family business, so we could talk about it.
Monkeys.
Damn. That's a lot. They do. They call us monkeys, right? They've likened us to primates. Why do you think they call us monkeys?
Because they think that we came from the jungle. Actuality, they come from the cave. Damn. So they are the real original Dondadas. Any thousand.
Yeah, you're a trip. Yeah, they troglodytes, right? Cave dwellers. And they got the audacity to say we come out of a jungle, man. That's terrible. So they say they call us monkeys. What else they call so-called Judites or so-called Negroes? Shines. Why they call us shines? Good night. Monkey, shines. What else? What other kind of racial epithets are used to describe us? You know what you've been called.
Spits.
Yeah. Okay. So we move on to the Hispanics, the Latinos, right? And what the heck is that? What is a spick? Now, these are the words that you all came up with, all right? We're not using them in a derogatory manner, but these words actually exist within the American lexicon, the English language, okay? So you can't censor that. This is for educational purposes only, all right? So words that the so-called oppressor would use to describe Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You said they've described the Negroes as what? Monkeys, as shines. There's a word, nigga. That's a very common word that's used to describe the so-called black man. You talked about the so-called Hispanics and the Latinos. You said they called them spics. I would love to know what the heck that is. What else they call them? Oh, because of they. Oh, come on, man. That's bad. That is bad. What else? What else do they call the Hispanics? Good night. I knew the other one had one. Locked it, loaded. He said wetbacks, beaners, Salakia. He gonna run them down, huh? You got the 50 cal tonight? Wetbacks, beaners. These are racial slurs that they use to describe the so-called Negro, the so-called Hispanic. And what about the so-called Native Indian? What are the slurs that they use to describe the Native Indian? They got a whole database online. Go ahead. You want to run them down? Run some of them down? Not just the ones that you know offhand. What do they call them? Savages, right? Redskins, right? First one on the list is alcoholics. Why is that? Why they call the red man or the so-called Native Indian alcoholics? I'm sure it has to do with the oppression that they endure. They don't have access to fresh water. You push them off of fertile lands into the damn desert. Go ahead, brother.
It's so crazy, man. Like they want to do all this stuff to our people and expect us not to have no kind of like release from it. You know what I'm saying? Like you killing, you murdering, you slaughtering these people, and you expect them to not have nothing. They supposed to take it. They can't have a drink because you just murdered their whole family.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can't have no side relief. They gotta sit there and just take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like oppression make a wise man. You pushing these people to do drugs.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they think they're going out of their minds. They need something.
Right.
Because they take a drink because they're about to die on the inside. They're alcoholics.
Right.
Goddamn the oppressor.
Yeah, goddamn the oppressor, man. That's a heavy point, officer. That's a heavy point. And then, when the shoe's on the other foot, because they're lazy, all they got to do is shower and shave and they in the game. Why the hell do trailer parks exist? Right. Go ahead, brother.
That's crazy. Like, if the shoes on the other foot and their people drink because of that, they'll be like, oh, they're sick. They need help.
They have a substance abuse, a chemical dependency issue. Right. Now you're going to go get, now you're going to be a further burden on the system. Now my tax dollars is going to go to provide therapy for you because you lazy. Because you just lazy, not because of systemic oppression and racism. Well, critical race theory, right? Read some of those racial epithets used to describe the Native Indian, if you can.
Some weird ones on here too. I heard half of these.
Yes, there's some corny ones on here.
Yeah, I got blackout, bowbender, Bush N-word, casino, chief, coaches.
I heard coaches before.
Yeah, dirt worshiper, Eskimo, FBI, full-blooded Indian. That's what it means. Featherhead, 4-engine, gas huffer, gas bag, glawny gut eater, half a gas can.
A jig.
Yeah, jig.
Jig is short for jigaboo, right?
Yep, jig.
That's a name that they use to describe us.
It says jig is Native American, used to describe Native Americans. In Canada, they do a dance called a jig or jigging.
Yep.
John Redcorn.
Damn.
It's a singer named John Redcorn, too. Mascot. Mohawk, powwow, prairie nigger, red nigger, redskin,
good night.
salmon cruncher.
That's terrible.
Seal clubber.
I can see you the list. If anybody want the list, just let me know. We'll send it to you. We'll put it in the chat, man.
Tomahawky.
And we gotta laugh at our pain, man. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. Can you imagine somebody calling you that? Good night.
And Salakia too. You think about being called that and not knowing that it is a racial slur.
Right.
Like you go your whole life answering to some, to some derogatory, and like you don't even know it until you become a full-grown adult. And you're like,
Squaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It is.
That's what I'm saying. And our children, like say my sister has a name that's complicated to It's not Susan, if I may. You understand? It's Quanisha or something. So the teacher
intentionally
mispronounce her name.
Right.
Why did your mama do that type of badgering that goes on from day to day, man?
Right.
We don't think that it psychologically messes with our children, man. That's why we shouldn't, that thing of us being able to raise our children in our household with our way of thinking
Right.
and our teachers is so important, because without that, they will always be abused in the school system. And half of us don't even realize it. You understand? What did you eat last night for dinner, Jaquan?
Yeah, fried chicken and Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Damn. It's like, I mean, for a while, growing up, I wouldn't eat watermelon. I did not eat fried chicken around white folk or Salakia devils. I wouldn't eat no fried chicken around them, because I always knew that they were thinking like, yeah, I know that's a typical meal for you folks. Go ahead, brother. Damn.
I know God, because they always had orange juice, apple juice. Yeah. But they'd be like, y'all want some extra juice, y'all want some grape juice?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's terrible. Go ahead, I don't want.
I went out at the slave one time, this brother over there eating banana in the corner, right? The brother walked by and said, well, we don't work here off, you be eating that banana.
No situational awareness at all. You just gonna be here eating a banana in front of all these. Ain't no way, man. There's a whole fruit basket. You picked the banana. Ain't no way, man. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, we gotta trim our ways, though. Unfortunately, the scriptures talk about us not trimming our ways to seek love. That fried chicken is biblical. Us braiding our hair is biblical. Us wearing those fringes is biblical. Us having a beard is biblical. Us having more than one wife is biblical. We don't have to fake the funk for these oppressors. They don't have a culture. They look to us. We're the ones that set the trends. We're the ones that created cancel culture. Because if Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians ain't doing it, it ain't selling. They're not going to promote it. All right. So we can end, all these negative perspectives about our people. All we got to do is just be obedient to keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. We could do away with the whole gang phenomenon, the whole gang violence. We could do away with it. We could do away with the drug culture. We could do away with, abortion. We could do away with all that. All we got to do is just learn how to keep these laws. The church, they haven't done that. They haven't taught our people or equipped our people with the tools that are necessary in order to live in real time. They have not, especially in America, which is we're behind enemy lines. America is the same it was way back in the 1700s. It's the same. It's just that, the plantation looks a little different. All right. Anyhow, let's get through the rest of these, because I don't want to do a part 4 to this class. Even though it's deserving, the Native Indians are deserving of however many classes have to be taught, so that you can see that these are our people. We are one blood-related family, all right? And you fit every last one of these curses, okay? Go down to 48. Yeah, we could talk about that. Go to 49. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. Deuteronomy 28 and 40 and 48. Yeah, go to 48.
Verse 48.
See which one y'all want? Y'all want to do 48 or 49? We could do either one. Go to 48. Salakia.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thee.
No, you're right. Thine. That's that word we've been dealing with all day.
Thine,
this is a bastard tongue.
Enemy which the Lord shall sin against thee.
Right.
In hunger, in thirst, in the nakedness, in what of all things are he shall put a yoke or iron upon thy neck, until he had destroyed thee.
Right. So this is what you got to understand, man. Prior to the so-called African American, the so-called Negro going into bondage at the hands of the oppressor, the Native Indian was the first slave in the land of the North. All right. Because when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, he had to bring back proof of these people that he wrote about in his diary. He had to bring back proof, and he brought back slaves across the Middle Passage, well, across through the Caribbean, through the Atlantic, back to Portugal, back to Spain, back throughout Europe. Okay, so they were the Native Indians were being sold in that triangular trade prior to the so-called African slaves, which we know was the so-called Negroes and Hispanics being sold and commuted across the Atlantic Ocean. All right. It says they'll serve. It didn't say that we were serving our friends. It didn't say we were serving our relatives, our cousins from another mother. It says that we were serving our enemies. All right. And an enemy is not a friend. An enemy is a foe, right? The enemy is an op. This is not your family we're talking about, all right? And we have to depend on the so-called oppressor for everything. We got to go to him for our food. We got to go to him for our water. We got to go to him for our clothing. We got to go to him for our shelter. We got to go to him for our transportation. We got to go to him for our education. We got to go to him for everything. This is a part of those curses. Native Indians, and they got pushed off of their lands that they were familiar with. They knew which animals and which plants, what the flora and fauna that they were familiar with in the lands they were indigenous to. But they got displaced by the so-called oppressor. The Bible calls them enemies, okay? That troop, the U.S. Cavalry, displaced the Native Indian under what? Indian killing heroes like Andrew Jackson, right? Via what? The Indian Removal Act of 1830, right? This is real American legislation. This is on the record, all right? And this explains the condition of the Native Indian today. What happened yesterday? This is why we said to remember the days of old. We have to be reflective. We have to take into consideration the things that happened to our nation over the course of time, all right? Because it has everything to do with our current situation. It has everything to do with where we are in life as a nation of people, all right? Let's see. Keep reading. 49.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So we know that Christopher Columbus was what? He was Portuguese, right? And he went to the king and queen of Spain, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, right? That's how the story goes, is it not? In order for them to fund his trips to what he thought was India. But it ended up falling or stumbling upon the Taino Indians, right? That was the nation of the Lord sent against us. And Christopher Columbus was a full-fledged bastard, man. He was a wicked, evil bastard. All right. And he came from afar. That's a trick. If you've never crossed the pond, we didn't get the opportunity to go to the UK this year. But next year, we're putting that on our bucket list. We're going to try to get to the UK to go visit our brothers and sisters, man. You know? But I'm sure that trip in itself, this is before we had modern, airlines, modern aircraft, even with respect to the boats that would cross. It wasn't a cruise ship. We're talking about slave ships that these enemies came across, from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flyeth. And we all know that that's their standard, the eagle. That's the standard of every nation that has oppressed the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. There's always an eagle on their crest, on their money, on their flags. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. You said Obadiah 1 and 3? No, you 12. You pull that, brother? Obadiah 1 and 3?
No, so like it's the 4.
1 and 4? This is a precept to eagle, right? Most High in Christ.
Obadiah 1 verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High.
Damn, that's heavy. Damn, good. Give her a hand. She's right. The so-called oppressor does exalt himself as an eagle. When you look at an eagle in his environment, his ecosystem, he is a primary predator, right? And he attacks from the land. He rules over his ecosystem, okay? That's the so-called oppressor. And we have the largest air force in the world, believe it or not, all right? The oppressor has so much pride, he exalts himself as that bird of prey, the eagle, right? We talking about setting his nest among the stars. What do you think that means? What do you think that is? To set his nest among the stars. Go ahead, sis.
So in the verses above this, 2 verses above that, it speaks about how they like to dwell in high places and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go to the big cities to where they dwell, where the most rich, powerful people are, that's where you find all the tallest buildings and you know they came down.
Like you're talking about the Twin Towers.
Yeah, in the State Empire building and stuff like that.
Right.
They love to be in those type of places because it feeds the ego, makes them feel like they where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? This is what they've been doing. This makes them feel
right,
grand, better than everybody else.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right about that. You know, you get living in those high-rise luxury apartments. The one that you want is the penthouse, the one at the very top. And why is that? So that you can look down on everybody else. It's a very spiritual thing, the pride of our enemy. All right. So drop that. Let's go back to verse 50. Matter of fact, we was at 49, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 49. And the sisters, she pulled out Obadiah 1 and 4, and that's a very heavy precept. When you think about the International Space Station, you know, you can't get no higher than that. And this is where the oppressor, this is his nest. He set himself amongst the stars in space, okay? The Most High Power is going to be responsible for bringing him down, all right? Read that.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flyeth. Right. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Yeah, we still don't understand this English. We've been struggling with thy and thou and the old English. It ain't just you, brother. It's all of us. I stumble across words all the time reading the King's English, you know, because this is not our language. We have our own native tongue, and it's the Lashawan Kodash. You know, we speak Hebrew. You're not learning to speak Hebrew in the Christian church. You don't even know the name of God. That's how I know you're not being taught anything in there. Okay? Keep reading.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which should not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
So we talk about that first Thanksgiving. Those devils, they killed man, woman, and child. They killed the elderly. They didn't have any compassion. You know, most people would have some sort of decorum in the way that they conduct themselves when you're around the elders. There's just a certain way you're not going to act when you get around older people. Certain language you're not going to use. You're going to even straighten up. Ain't going to have your pants hanging down. You're just going to act like you got some damn sense when you go around the elders. And the same thing with children. You're just not going to be talking all reckless around a child, you know, because you know a child is innocent, right? A child needs to be protected the same way that those elders need to be protected. But these enemies, they didn't have any compassion. This is a nation of fierce countenance is what the Bible says. All right. And they didn't show any favor to who?
Favor to the young.
To the old or the young. They didn't give no regard. They didn't give a damn. Okay. It's not like us. When you look and you see what's happening over in Palestine, that spirit of them dropping them bombs, they don't give a damn. Bibi Netanyahu has not stopped dropping bombs on the Palestinians. He don't give a damn if you're blowing up old folks or you dragging out some 2-year-old, a 6-month-old covered in soot. He don't give a damn. Because it's a nation of fierce countenance. All right. Drop down to 64. Drop down to 28 and 64. We're gonna wrap this thing up.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter 3 among our people.
Among all people, right? Keep reading.
From the one end of the earth, even into the other, and there thou should serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood or stone.
Here we go again with that wood and stone. This is the reason why, we are flooding in the Christian church. That's why we flood the Muslim mosques. These are the gods that our forefathers never knew. And us being scattered in itself, you can't scatter a family. That's an evil and wicked thing, man. What happened to us? But that's only because of what we did, being evil and wicked to the Lord. We had a loving, caring power, our Father, our God in heaven, who gave us instructions on how to live, how to conduct ourselves. And we rejected it. We rejected it for what? This nation of fierce countenance, their customs, their traditions, their holidays, their gods, their religion. Drop that. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
By the way whereof I spoken to thee, thou should see it no more again.
So we were brought back into Egypt because the Israelites walked out of Egypt. All right. We walked out on foot. We didn't come out on no ship. Moses parted the Red Sea. We walked through on dry land. Okay. If you've ever seen the Red Sea, Google it. Google the Red Sea. And then just try to imagine Moses splitting the Red Sea with the power of the Most High. All right. We were brought back into Egypt. America is Egypt. Okay. We had to serve hard bondage in Egypt, or Mizraim is what they would say in the Hebrew. Egypt was known as the land of hard bondage, at least to our people. You see those pyramids? People had to be forced to create those pyramids, to build those pyramids. Nobody was working. Nobody was getting a minimum wage to build those damn pyramids. That was slave labor that did that made those structures. All right. And we were the slaves that created that. All right. And it says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Does anybody know any other name of any other slave ship outside the Amistad? Nope. Good ship Jesus. Good night. Give me another one. Yeah, that's some homework for you. Okay, this is a class. Yeah, give some homework. Come up with 10 different names of slave ships. You know what? It would be intriguing to find names of slave ships that the native Indians went back to Europe on, outside of the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. All right, I'd be impressed with that. All right, keep reading that verse. Thou shalt see it no more again. We're talking about the promised land, right? Our land. Don't be like them big-headed Negroes that decide to go back to Israel. You're going to be rejected when you go to Israel. Those Israelis hate your guts. They don't want to see your black behind coming over there trying to seek asylum or trying to become an Israeli national. It's not going to happen. They're going to make you serve in the military. They're going to put you on the front lines, and then that's it. You're going to have to deal with not just Hamas, but what's the other one in Lebanon? Hezbollah. What is it? What is the name of the joint? Is it Hezbollah? Yeah. It's Hamas and it's another H. Yeah, Hamas and Hezbollah, if I'm not mistaken. Hezbollah. There it is. Hezbollah. And you're going to be unalive. You get your water cut off, okay? Because you don't know about these curses, because you were stuck in the Christian church. You were stuck in the Muslim mosque. You were taught white supremacy. You weren't taught that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen, like what we teach in the I.S.U.P.K. Keep reading.
And their yea should be so unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your family.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your colleagues.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your enemies is what the Bible says. Who was sold to who in America? Who? The so-called Native Indian was sold to
Native and Latinos.
Yeah, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will just say that because we're one family. Was sold by the hands of the so-called white man, the oppressor, the enemies of the Israelites. All right, keep reading.
For bondman,
Slave men,
bondman,
and
bondwoman,
and slave woman,
and their man should buy you,
and no man shall free you. Right? These are the curses, man. Yeah, I don't know how much flatter you can lay this down. You know, when it comes down to the Native Indians being Israelites, there's no way you can say that they are not, according to what these scriptures convey. Every curse, every last one of the curses, they fit them. All right? And that's my time. We're the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA, man. If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA, you are not in the truth. I'm going to pass the class off to priests and officers of 1,000. Kawalban Yahweh to read the announcements. Clap it up.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K. started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. New rule for brother and sister. The new brother and sister comes to the school. They're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves to the world. They need transportation. Teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has particular interest in a person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10th in Hebrew, but not Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, we are in the Feast of Hanukkah right now. All right, for a span. Started December 7th, the 25th day of the 9th month. All right, you can find this in Maccabees chapter 4, 52-61. All right, today also too, make sure y'all log in to America on Fire. Commander YAHANNA gonna be bringing out some heavy information. All right, as soon as you log in, like, share, subscribe. All the podcasts help spread this truth throughout the earth. Also, we have the Lord's Passover, 55th annual Passover in Durham, North Carolina, coming up April 20th, all right, 2024 in Durham, North Carolina. Start making your arrangements. Go on www.I.S.U.P.K.com and pay your Passover fee, all right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf with that Imadium. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to run one person to the teacher. Men of Israel, battle Shabbat, Madi, Barak. Sar, Tarface sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to one person with sisters of Majim. Men of Israel, Madium, Amadu Shabbat, Madium, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Thabah Shimi Yahushua.
Yajimata, class is submitted.
Damn right. Yes, sir. Time price. Oh.